Welcome to the channel. I'm the Southern Sega Gentleman, and as you'll notice, we got a couple of things a little bit different than normal. I'm not standing up, there's not a whole bunch of B-roll, and the truth of the matter is that this video was supposed to come out yesterday. But thanks to Mother Nature, this video and about 45 hours worth of gameplay from other videos has all been corrupted on my computer, so the channel is kind of a little bit behind at this point. Regardless, I've got my coffee, and we're going to go ahead and discuss something real fast. Now, one topic on YouTube that I see constantly, at least in regards to YouTubers talking about it, is that of reproduction games. Most of the time when they're talking about it, they're talking about whether they're good, they're bad, how they affect the community, collecting in general, etc., etc. The point is, though, is that generally speaking, they're all talking about one type of reproduction. Reproduction carts. Now, that's all fine and great. Look, I love the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo as much as the next guy. But the truth of the matter is I'm a child of the mid to late 90s, so much, not so much the 80s. I like my 3D games, I like my 32-bit systems and up and so forth and whatever the case it might be. I like CD-based media, and no one ever really wants to talk about that, you know, and when they do, it's normally Pat the Nest Punk talking about the scumbag seller of the week, and that's fine and great, man. You can think whatever you want about reproductions. I'm not here to try to change your mind. What I do want to talk about, though, is this idea that keeps getting circulated around the community that CD-based reproductions are nothing more than a guy sitting in his basement with some sticky labels, sitting them on top of a CD, and then shipping them out up on eBay trying to make a quick buck, or, you know, whatever the case it might be. And that's absolutely fine if that's what you think, but the truth of the matter is there's a lot more to reproductions. In fact, the whole idea of reproductions itself is something we need to talk about for a second. Now look, I know somebody in the comments section is going to drop down the idea that, look, man, if you just want to play the game, go burn it to a CDR, you know, play it on an emulator, or utilize something like a GDEMU or some other form of ODE replacement to play the game. And that's great, you know, we can all do that. Look, I got them right here, you know, a little bit of Sharpie, you're good to go. That's fine. It's trash, I can throw it away. But my point is that some people in the community won't even do that. Prime point being my buddy AJ from Mastercast TV. He will not even burn a game himself, and he sure as hell isn't going to buy one from a repro seller. Love you to death, Andy, but it's the truth. Now, whenever it comes to the actual realm of reproductions, the most simple form of reproduction you can get is something like case art. You know, I've got damn near the entire US Saturn library sitting over there, but the vast majority, like 180 discs, are all loose. I need a way to protect these games, and the truth is those little, I don't have one sitting with me right now, but those little containers that we used to use back in the 90s to put all of our discs in, they scratch the hell out of your games, man. They're not really good for long-term storage. So I did like RGT85, and I bought me a whole bunch of these little things, and you know, that's all fine and great, but it just really doesn't look nice, and unlike him, I actually printed out my own labels on regular printer paper. It looks like trash, dude. I mean, it really does. It doesn't look great. I mean, it fits on the shelf, it protects the game, but that's really all it's doing. There's some people in the community, though, they take it to a whole nother level. Prime example, my buddy Dave from Sega Saturn Shiro. He's one of these guys in the community who is putting together custom artwork for games. And whenever I say custom artwork for games, as I drop games, I'm talking about something like this. Now, I've shown this off before, and I show it off on my shelf all the time. It's in most of my videos. This is an absolutely beautiful piece of work. I mean, the dude went all the way through it. I'm not even going to try to take it out. I normally try to take it out. But, I mean, you got full artwork. You got the manual. You got the insert. You got everything to it. And while I don't necessarily really enjoy Christmas Nights into Dreams, the fact of the matter is, instead of having it in that little cardboard sleeve it's shipped with, to be able to have it in this thing right here is absolutely amazing. And the case I have it in is one of them VGC Media cases from Amazon that I really didn't too much care for the quality of them. I did a review of my old channel, but the fact of the matter is that reproduction cases and reproduction artwork is a thing, and it needs to be discussed. And that's normally the topic that really isn't, let me find this game real fast. That's normally the topic that most people aren't really discussing when they talk about CD-based reproductions. What they're talking about is the actual games. Well, alluding to back earlier, you know, somebody burning a game, why don't you just do it yourself? Well, I got news for you. That Sharpie, I can make some cool designs for it, but it's not really great looking, man. I mean, one type of game that I love to have reproductions of or let me rephrase that. One type of reproduction game that I like to purchase and have to show and display on the shelf, because for nothing other than the fact that it's a conversation starter, is something that's an unreleased game. This is a nice example of one, Armed Aftermath. Now, this game never saw the light of day. It was displayed in a couple of gaming shows. I think E3 was one of them. I'm not entirely certain about that. But the game itself is not really that great. The disc, on the other hand, that's absolutely amazing. Now, sit there and tell me that that's just a little sticky label. It's not. The quality of work that goes into some of these reproductions is, to put it simply, it's astonishing. You know, and the one thing is everybody wants to say, well, they're trying to pass them off as real games. And I got news for you. I don't know how well. I'll probably throw up a picture possibly. I don't know. But right there, this is an unreleased game. This is a reproduction. Not everybody in the reproduction market is out there trying to turn a quick buck, man. It's not the case. I know there's a lot of scumbag sellers, not to quote Pat the Nest Punk, but it's the truth. Another form of unreleased game I have is this one right here, Return Fire. This is a game that did see the light of day. It was released on the 3DO, the PlayStation, and the PC. Now, it was supposed to come out on the Saturn, and I actually have a copy of it. And I can play it and I can show it off, and you know, people like, again, it's a conversation starter. It kind of looks nice on the shelf, but I kind of want to bring this one up because it's a reject. It was sent to me for free because of the fact it was a reject whenever I bought another copy. And if you look at it, it's matte. It's not really that great a thing. And I think this is what most people think of when they're talking about CD-based reproductions. At least this is the idea that they get in their head. And that's completely contrary to the point I'm trying to make. You know, another type of reproduction that's, I really think, fits a place in the collecting market itself is that of fan translations. Now, one game that I absolutely love on the Sega Saturn is Dragon Force. I cannot tell you how much I feel that's the best RPG on the system. I know everybody likes to talk about Panzer Dragoon, and that's fine. If you love Panzer Dragoon, great. That's your boat. That's your tea, whatever. I don't care. In my opinion, though, it's Dragon Force, and really Dragon Force 2. Problem is that Dragon Force 2 never came out in America. It doesn't have an English translation to it, or at least that's what I thought until a couple of years ago, whenever I come across it, and this right here. This is Dragon Force 2, the English translation, in a format that I can display on the shelf. I don't have a case for it, but, I mean, in all honesty, the disc draws people's attention. It's got shine to it whenever the light catches it. I got a couple of buddies who actually know about the Saturn. They'll come over there and they'll be like, but that never came out in America. And I can go on, yeah, it never came out in the States. And guess what? We can play it right now. I'll throw it in the system. Everything be good. You can read it. We can play it. You can understand it. It'll be amazing. That's what reproductions allow you to do. Now, the next type of reproduction I want to show you, it's another fan translation, but this is what I really want to be able to showcase to people. This comes from my buddy Kay over at Sega Saturn Shiro, Murderer Crows Gaming. I'll just show it off. That right there. This is an English fan translation of Police Knots, and this actual copy is a custom to me, individual. No one else will ever have it. This is what reproductions are all about. That right there. My name, Southern Sega Gentleman. The cases have Titancast on them. That's my podcast. You know, they've got, and one of the discs is actually out of it because I was playing it last night. But my point is that is astonishing. He went through the work of actually making the discs themselves. Every one of them is extremely immaculate. You've got the OSTs. Everything's there. This is what a reproduction is supposed to be. I mean, the paper itself is actually like reflective. It's like metallic. This is above and beyond. Whenever people talk to me about reproduction sellers, and they want to talk about, again, those guys in their basement selling games on eBay that they did a little sticker on, I have to look at them and go, look, dude, I've got something that's going to prove otherwise. Now, the last type of reproduction I want to talk about is the one that most people think about on YouTube and what most people discuss. The cost-saving measure. The one that you're trying to buy a $200-$300 game for $10-15 bucks, all right? And I'm going to be honest with you. The example I'm about to show you, I've owned this game twice. I've sold it both times. I've sold my entire collection twice. Don't hate me. Don't unsubscribe. I got plenty of games more. That's not the point. What I'm trying to say is this. I'm not about to buy another game a third time when it's over $100 easily on eBay. That example I'm going to talk about is this right here, Ikaruga. Alright? Now some people absolutely love this game, some people absolutely hate it. That's besides the point. I enjoy the game, I enjoy throwing it in the system, playing it for 30-40 minutes at a time. I like my shooters. Now, this is one of them guys. This is John from Box Reproductions. He does some amazing work. I'm not going to say it's the best because I really like case stuff, but if there was a number 2, I'd think he's number 2, honestly. He puts on every single one of his games that they're reproductions, okay? He puts them on the case, he puts them on the disc have shine to them. I mean, that's that right there. Like I said, I don't want to call them the best because I really love case stuff, but this right here, that's high quality. I'm just saying. But the point is that there's lots of people like me who have either bought a game and don't want to buy it again, or people who've never been able to experience a game because of the extraordinarily high prices associated with it, and they want to be able to enjoy the game, and they don't want to emulate it. They want to actually play it on their system. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I mean, I personally don't feel there's anything wrong with it. If you do, then fine, whatever, that's you, I don't care. But at the end of the day, people should be able to enjoy these games. And games like Panzer Dragoon Saga that go for $600 easily on eBay, I mean, really, you want somebody to pay $600 for a game they've never enjoyed. Why not just let them buy something that's 30, 40 bucks or whatever the case is, $10, $15, and play it if they don't want to burn it, if they want it to look nice and put it on the shelf. And that's really the point. Reproductions are about an experience. It's not about just playing the game. You want to have something that you can display. It's shelf ready. Yeah, it's fake. You're playing game, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, people are just trying to enjoy a game and they want to show it off. I mean, the fact of the matter is I like to show off my games as well. I don't show them off most of the time in videos because, again, I got a lot of loose discs. But if I had a case for every single one of them, you best believe that wall back there would be nothing but games. Now, with all that said and done, I hope that this video didn't ramble on extraordinarily long. Again, I wanted this to be a pre-produced video. In fact, the video was done, but because of Mother Nature, that just didn't happen. And I didn't feel like trying to put all that back together from scratch. If you did enjoy this little free format, me talking to the camera kind of thing, then, you know, by all means, tell me in the comments, and I might do it once or twice a week or whatever the case is on top of my pre-produced videos. I don't really hate doing this kind of video. It's just kind of new to me. I've never really done it before, so it might be a little inicky. And one thing I do want to say real quick is that this is not a video trying to sell anybody's works. I enjoy all the things I have. I enjoy their products, but at the end of the day, they didn't ask me to make this video, and I would have made it regardless of whether they wanted me to or not. Now, if you're interested in buying some of these, I'll leave a link in the description. You can check them out. I'm not going to get kickback if you actually buy anything. But regardless, the main thing about it, I want everybody to know that at the end of the day, it's just about playing games and enjoying them. And if you get that from a reproduction, great. If you get that from paying $600 on eBay for Panzer Dragoon Saga, that's great too. Regardless though, this is the SSG, signing out.